Welcome to a not-so-Vegas vacation. Las Vegas is associated with gambling and partying. However, have you ever thought about it as a central location to exploring some of the nation's most beautiful natural resources? Hello, and welcome to Sarah's Scuba and Travel channel. In this video, I want to share a 10-day itinerary to exploring a wide variety of natural attractions in 4 different states that will satisfy any nature lover or adventure seeker. Prior to leaving, I recommend purchasing the America the Beautiful National Parks and Federal Recreation Lands Pass. We purchased ours at an REI co-op store, but you can also purchase it online. This is an annual pass that is good from the month you purchase it, giving you free entry into all national parks and other federally regulated lands. The pass covers an entire vehicle or up to 4 people. The pass costs $80 for a year, and you will easily make up the cost if you follow the itinerary in this video. When booking your flight reservations, I recommend selecting a flight that arrives in Las Vegas either midday or afternoon, because from Las Vegas you will drive approximately 2 hours to our first park, Death Valley National Park, which is located in California. That's right, this is a road trip, so you will need to rent a car as well. Before leaving Las Vegas, I recommend making a stop at a supermarket to stock up on snacks and gallons of water. Depending on the time of year you decide to make your journey, you will need a variety of clothes, from light clothing with sun protection and swimsuits to cool weather or winter clothing, as well as a light rain jacket. You will want hiking boots with thick socks, and make sure you pack a refillable water bottle. Day 1 of this itinerary is dedicated to travel. However, you will get beautiful views of scenery along the way, and possibly the sunset depending on your time of arrival. I recommend making lodging reservations inside Death Valley. We stayed at the ranch at Death Valley. It was conveniently located to all attractions. For this 10-day itinerary, plan to spend days 2 and 3 exploring the park. If you are asked to pay an entrance fee at any time, you can show your government-issued ID along with your America the Beautiful pass, as your pass covers this fee. I recommend focusing on the Furnace Creek area during your first full day in the park. This includes Dante's View, Artist Palette, Zabriskie Point, 20 Mule Canyon, Devil's Golf Course, Badwater Basin, and Salt Flats, and so much more. If you have a National Parks passport, don't forget to get your stamp at the Furnace Creek Visitor Center. For day 2 in the park and day 3 of this itinerary, focus on the Stovepipe Wells area, which includes Mosaic Canyon and the Mesquite Flat Dunes. Then make your way to Ubehebe Crater before making the 2-hour journey back to Las Vegas, Nevada. Depending on the conditions, which will most likely be hot and dry, be aware of sand devils as you are driving. We stopped to get a shot of one along the highway, and it decided to cross right over us. To be honest, it was a pretty awesome experience. As an added bonus, you will see Joshua trees as you travel through Nevada. These trees are located throughout the state, so if you don't make it to Joshua Tree National Park, at least you still get to experience these trees on this road trip. Night 3 is in Las Vegas. Depending on how you feel about Vegas, you can decide whether you want to stay on the Strip or not. The next morning is an early drive, so you will want to get your rest. Day 4, make sure you rise and shine early. Get a good breakfast and make the roughly 2.5-hour journey to Zion National Park, which is located in Utah. I told you this was going to be a road trip. The route to Zion will take you on the Veterans Memorial Highway, which runs through the Virgin River Gorge. You will pass through the Narrows, where the gorge features limestone cliffs that are as high as 500 feet above the highway. The views of this scenery are beautiful. Once you arrive in the Springdale area, you may want to grab some lunch. We made our way into the park and ate lunch at the Zion Lodge. Either way, you will want to make sure you get some food in your stomach before exploring the park. Make sure you show your government-issued ID and your America the Beautiful pass to enter the park. I recommend parking at the visitor center and taking the shuttle. You may find it challenging to find parking, but be patient. There are people leaving all the time. Spend the afternoon exploring different shuttle stops, or select a stop and do some hiking. From shuttle stop 5, we hiked to the Grotto, Canetta, Lower Emerald Pool, and the sand bench trails to the Court of the Patriarchs. I highly recommend spending the night at the Zion Canyon Lodge in Springdale. The lodge is wonderful. They also provide a wonderful bag breakfast in the morning along with coffee and tea. I recommend Cafe Oscar for dinner and ice cream at the Bumbleberry Bakery for dessert. Day 5, rise and shine at a decent time. Grab your free bagged breakfast and make your way back into Zion National Park. Park at the Visitor Center and spend the morning exploring more of the park. We parked at the Visitor Center and took the shuttle to Stop 3 where we picked up Pyrus Trail. This is a paved trail that offers beautiful views of the canyon from the valley floor. The trail follows the Virgin River and leads back to the Visitor Center. Make sure you have stopped at the Visitor Center to get your passport stamp. Around lunchtime, make your way out of the park to head towards the Bryce Canyon National Park. As you exit Zion National Park, you will leave through the east entrance on the Zion Mount Carmel Highway, which offers multiple outlook points to stop and take pictures. You will eventually travel through the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel. After you exit the tunnel, you might want to make a hike on the Canyon Overlook Trail, if time permits. From here, you can make a quick stop at Checkerboard Mesa. There is parking off the highway to view the grid-like pattern naturally cut into the rock. From here, I recommend stopping at the Thunderbird restaurant in Mount Carmel, Utah for lunch. With a nice full belly, make your way to Bryce Canyon National Park, which is part of the Dixie National Forest. However, the route will take you through Red Canyon, which is another canyon located in the Dixie National Forest. There are some pull-offs if you want to stop and take pictures. If the visitor center is open, you can stop and get your stamp if you have a National Parks passport. Either way, it offers beautiful driving scenery, including an arch that covers the highway. Upon arrival at the Bryce Canyon National Park, show your America the Beautiful pass and government-issued ID. At this point, you should already be saving money with your pass, and we are only in day 5. After entering the park, make a stop at the visitor center, get your stamp, and check out the educational exhibits. If you are ready for a hike, check out some of the great hikes in the park. We enjoyed a portion of the Fairyland Point Loop Trail before a storm started to pick up, and we decided to turn around and make our way back to the car. I recommend enjoying a sunset at Sunset Point. Another place to view the sunset and stay for stargazing is at Bryce Point. If you are looking for an affordable and tasty place to eat in the area, I recommend Bryce Canyon Pines Restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can't even tell you how many times we ate there during our short visit. After a good night's rest, get ready for a busy day in Bryce Canyon National Park for day 6 of this itinerary. I recommend exploring the Southern Scenic Route in the morning. Due to the amount of snow the park received during the 2022-2023 winter, there was still snow at the higher altitudes during our visit in May. From here, then you'll want to check out Bryce Point and Inspiration Point. At Sunrise Point, you will have access to the Queen's Garden Trail. This is a great trail for a hike through the hoodoos. After lunch, make your way to Mossy Cave Trail. Each park in this itinerary is unique and has its own highlights. However, this was our favorite park due to the uniqueness of the hoodoos and the beautiful scenery. Get up at a decent time, eat some breakfast, and head to the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument for day 7. Lunch will be later this afternoon. A good breakfast and snacks will be important today. On your drive, you will see various colors painting the cliffs and mountains around you. The different colors are created by rocks and mineral deposits and mark different periods of the Earth's history in this region. In fact, this region was at one time located closer to the equator. Over millions of years, the land has moved, shifted, lifted, and eroded to create the landscape you see today. Stop at the visitor center and fill up your water containers, if necessary. This park is a lot more rustic than previous parks in this itinerary. Many trails are not clearly marked and require you to navigate on your own. This park is much more remote. There are some roads that require a high undercage and can be challenging in a regular vehicle. Please do not approach an activity if you are not experienced and prepared for the journey. The Visitor Center contains a lot of helpful guides and rangers to provide advice on what activities are best for your level of experience, time available, and preparedness. The nice part of this park is that there are restaurants, medical care, and gas stations located at a few different towns within the park. Based on this itinerary, you will have roughly a half day in the park, so you will want to plan accordingly. You can plan one long hike or enjoy the scenic drives. On your way out, I recommend stopping to grab lunch at the Escalante restaurant. The pizza and desserts are amazing, especially after a long morning of activities. After lunch, make your way out of the park, past Bryce Canyon, through Red Canyon, and down to either Kanab, Utah, or Fredonia, Arizona. Originally, when I planned this itinerary, we were going to visit the north rim of the Grand Canyon. However, due to the amount of snow the 2022-2023 winter brought, the north rim had to postpone opening to June 1st due to a water pipe that broke. Therefore, originally I planned to stay in Fredonia as it is the closest town outside of the North Rim. If you do not have plans to visit the North Rim, I recommend staying in Kanab, Utah. Also, if you plan on visiting the North Rim and plan far enough in advance, you can stay within the Grand Canyon National Park. Please be aware of the time of year you are visiting. Arizona does not observe daylight savings time. If you are staying in Utah March through November, you will be 1 hour ahead of Arizona. Even though it is just a 10-minute drive across the border, this can get very confusing when you're trying to make sure you are on time for reservations. My recommendation for day 8 is to enjoy breakfast in Kanab and then make an hour-and-a-half car ride to Page, Arizona. Along the way, stop at the Glen Canyon Dam. Next, arrive at a pre-booked tour with Antelope Slot Canyon tours. Upper Antelope Canyon is a slot canyon that resides in the Navajo Nation and can only be accessed through pre-booked tours led by the Navajo people. It is a beautiful tour and one that I highly recommend. From here, make your way to Lake Powell. Don't forget your America the Beautiful Pass, as it will get you entrance into the park and marina. Depending on the level of the lake, you may get an escorted golf cart transport down to the marina. Here you can book the 5 p.m. boat tour of Antelope Canyon and grab a late lunch at the restaurant. Enjoy your 1-hour boat tour of a different perspective of Antelope Canyon than what you experienced earlier in the day. You should be getting off the boat just in time to make your way back to your car and make a short journey over to Horseshoe Bend to catch the sunset. This is also a great place to view the stars, but due to the clouds and bugs, we did not stay for stargazing on our trip. When you are done, make the hour-and-a-half journey back to Kanab or Fredonia for the evening. Day 9, get up early and make your journey back to Las Vegas. On the way, stop at the Valley of Fire State Park. It may not be as impressive after seeing all of the other parks in this itinerary. However, I think it is still a beautiful park that is worth exploring and hiking if you have not visited in the past. If you want to make adjustments to this itinerary, you could also stop on the way to Zion, but that will cut out the first day you have in the Zion National Park. I think it's worth having more time in Zion and making this stop on your return trip. Valley of Fire is one of the places in the area where you can see original petroglyphs, a slot canyon, beautiful rock formations with various colors, wildlife, and so much more. You will spend the night in Las Vegas. I have stayed at a few different hotels on the Strip. There are a lot of attractions and shows available. However, I do not particularly care for Las Vegas Strip. Therefore, we stayed at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. It is right off the Strip, and I actually really enjoyed this hotel. They have restaurants, a casino, pool, bowling alley, movie theater, and more. I would consider staying at this hotel again in the future. For your last day, you have options as there are a lot of beautiful sights to see in the Las Vegas area. A short distance from the Strip, you will find Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area. This park offers beautiful hiking trails as well as views of the canyon. If you are done with warm weather hiking, consider making the journey to Mount Charleston. The weather was beautiful when we visited in May. There isn't a fee to enter. There is a nice visitor center with a Cold War memorial. There are wild horses and donkeys that roam the park. You can enjoy hikes, lookouts, and even a ride on the ski lifts to see the remaining snow on the mountain. A final option, if those don't float your boat, is to make your way to the Hoover Dam and take a tour of the facility. The dam and the operations are quite impressive to see in person. You can also walk along the Nevada-Arizona border. Whichever option you choose, I know you will have a wonderful time. For us, we had a red-eye flight and made our way home on day 10. You can always extend your trip and add more to this itinerary. If you have other suggestions of parks or attractions to add to this itinerary, please post them in the video comments. There is so much to see in this part of the US. I could have continued to add more days in parks, especially in Utah. However, we had to get back to our regular jobs so we could continue to bring you future videos. For more information on the featured locations, please see video links in the description below for in-depth planning and preparation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button. If you would like to support future productions, you can buy me a snack using the link in the description below or show your support with a super thanks donation. Don't forget to join the Facebook group and follow me on Instagram for more content.